my kids have been sick for a while, and they got me sick, and my throat is killing me. Urgh! Dang kids! So speaking of health, I decided that since one of my goals is to be healthier, I would start talking about some of the things that doctors have told me and nutritionists and stuff like that. When I was 19, I think, I decided to go to the doctor to figure out what I needed to do to improve my health and like lose weight and everything. Because like I would research it on my own and it would be really super confusing because one person would put out an article about how proven it was that avocados will make you lose weight, but then there would be another article about how avocados are full of fat and you should stay away from them if you're trying to lose weight. It's super confusing. And I wasn't taught when I was younger, like, how to read a label on the back of a thing. And, like, I read the nutrition things, how you're supposed to have certain ounces of certain foods, but like when you're eating, you don't know, oh, that's 7 ounces just by eyeballing it. And you can't like weigh everything you eat because like, what if you have to eat out one night? You can't just take a scale with you and start weighing everything. So I was really confused. So I went to the doctor and I asked him, well, can you explain some of this stuff to me? Because I'm super confused and I want to be healthy. I really do. And I think it's just a matter of my diet because I exercise quite a bit. Well, back then I did. And he did some blood tests and he was like,
well, blood tests came back. You really just have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. So here's some birth control. Please take it.
I was like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, that explains some things. And he gave me a sheet of paper with like things written on it about what you're supposed to eat every day, which is what people have been giving me for a really long time about like ounces and stuff. And I'm not really incredibly intelligent. I don't think I am, but my husband says that I'm pretty smart. I think he's just being nice. But anyway, the sheet he gave me also had that, oh, eat this certain amount of ounces per meal of this certain kind of food. I was doing all the things he told me to do, and I was taking these pills, and I was working out, and it was still like nothing happened. And I went to my OBGYN for my regular checkup appointment. And I told her that my doctor told me that I had PCOS, which is, something that should be familiar with. And she was like, well, I'm just not sure that that's what you have. We should check your blood again and run some tests, and we'll figure it out, because if you had PCOS, you would be having this symptom and this symptom, and I just don't see it. So we're going to figure it out for you. When the test results came back, she told me that I had hypothyroidism. I was like, oh, okay, so I don't have PCOS, I have hypothyroidism. She said, well, I could have both, but people don't usually have both. It's usually one or the other. And that really confused me because I was like, well, you're telling me it could be both, but, well, what do I have? Can you just, tell me exactly what the problem is? And then that would be amazing. I think it would be better to have like a definitive answer so that I could actually work on the problem. Even if there's nothing wrong with me health-wise, I think that I would just like to know like a definitive answer of, well, what's healthy and what's not, and what can I eat a lot of and what should I stay away from. I just wanted to know, exactly what I had, instead of somebody saying, oh, you have this, and somebody else saying, oh, you have that, and then saying, well, you could have this or that. We just don't know. But I did a lot of research on both things, and I looked up like what would help having hypothyroidism and the other thing. And I did all the things that it said to do on the internet. But of course, like, there's still contradicting things that you can read. Like, a lot of people will say, oh, if you have hypothyroidism, you should take kelp. It's natural and it will help you. But then, like, there's this other side that says, oh, don't take kelp if you have hypothyroidism, because hypothyroidism is an allergy to iodine. You can't process it, and you're having these problems because kelp has iodine in it, and you should be careful, and blah, blah, blah. So, I don't really know which side is telling the truth. I think it really just depends on the person. But see, I don't even know. But if you try to research it, you get like contradicting stories, and then I get confused. I get confused easily, which is not a good thing. Then I was doing all this stuff for a couple years, and when you have hypothyroidism, they prescribe you with a prescription called levothyroxine. And what they'll do is they'll say, okay, well, here's your prescription. You've got 3 refills. Come back when you run out and we'll retest and see if it's helping you. I was going through the levothyroxine stuff, and by the time I had to retest, I changed insurance companies. And the doctor that I was seeing didn't take that insurance, and so I couldn't go see them anymore. So I had to go see another doctor. And this other doctor said, it's definitely PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and it's called syndrome because sometimes you have it and sometimes you don't. And that's why you experience symptoms sometimes and not all the time. You definitely do not have hypothyroidism. I was like, well, oh, good, okay. So I'm just going to stop taking the thyroid pills, and I'm going to take the birth control pills so that I can have these symptoms taken care of. But what should I do with weight? How should I eat? What should I do? And of course, she handed me another sheet where it said the ounces. I had to go back to retest again a few months later. And at that point, that doctor no longer worked at that doctor's office. She wasn't a doctor anymore. So that was interesting. So I saw the doctor that they had there at the time. When he got the test back, his response was, you are fat because you have hypothyroidism. But you also have hypothyroidism because you are fat. So you must lose weight, but it's going to be difficult because you have hypothyroidism. I have a problem because of a problem, but I have the first problem because of the second problem, and it's even more confusing. At this time, before I had gone to see this doctor, I also saw a nutritionist, and she gave me a list of like food I should eat. She was one of the people who said, oh, well, you should eat rice, like brown rice, but brown rice has a lot of sugar in it, so don't eat a lot of brown rice, and you should eat avocados, but not too many avocados, maybe 1 avocado a day. So that was really nice. That was kind of the direction that I wanted to go. It was still kind of confusing. I was doing the things that she said for probably about maybe like 6 months to a year. The doctor that I talked to, the very last doctor I talked to, the one who gave me thyroid medication, he gave me a referral to this place. They test your metabolic state, and they form a diet and exercise plan that's specific to your metabolism and what your body does, because everybody's different. So as soon as I was going to do that, my insurance ran out, and it was no longer covered through the insurance that I got. So I couldn't afford to go. So I never ended up going, and I would still like to go to that. So I've still been holding on to the referral paper, and it's been like 2 years now, and I still can't afford it. So, so there's that. I'm still pretty confused as far as, cause like I don't wanna be on like a eat this in this time, eat this at this time kind of diet. And that was kind of what the nutritionist gave me, because you can't really stay, on that diet and still go to birthday parties and stuff like that, because they don't offer those special foods, and it's really awkward to bring your own food. And I think it's kind of rude to like be at a birthday party or something and break out a bag of celery. So I want to have like a normal kind of diet. So obviously sugar is a big problem. I want to kind of lower my sugar intake, because the past year I usually don't eat a lot of sugar until this past 2 weeks, ever since I had kids. I got pregnant, I was like craving sugar like crazy, and so I started eating it, and then I kind of got addicted to it. So ever since then I started eating more sugar. One of the things though, like the first thing doctors tell you to do, or nutritionists, when you're trying to eat healthy and be healthy and lose weight, they're like, oh, well, stop drinking soda and don't drink juice and don't drink milk. But I don't drink, I hate soda. It's disgusting. I don't like it. I don't like the carbonation. I don't like how sweet it is. I've never liked soda. It's gross. I don't really care for juice either. Like sometimes I'll have like black tea from Dutch Brothers. That's about it. I probably haven't had that in about 2 or 3 months. So that's how often I drink that. When I have a bad day, I'll go to Sonic and I'll get like a large slush. And recently I've been having more of those because so I think I'm gonna like cut whatever sugar I'm eating out of the diet and try to just go sugar free. A lot of people in my family also have diabetes, and I'm also borderline diabetic, and that's pretty scary. So I want to I got a book, and it's like a cookbook for eating for diabetics, and I think I want to kind of read about the low GI diets and figure out kind of something like that. So I think I'm going to do that, and I'm definitely going to exercise more. I have a plan to exercise at least an hour to 2 hours every day. So starting today, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drink more water, and I'm going to try to cut out all the sugar and exercise. So we'll see how that goes. So I weighed myself because you have to have a starting point, right? And I think that you also have a little bit more accountability when you know how much you weigh. So this is how much I weigh. So I have a little recording sheet, and I have recorded it. And so I'm gonna check in with my progress from now on. Yeah. So bye.